And we're live. I see that the Charlo versus Sulecki fight that nobody wanted to see, no one was waiting for, has been reportedly canceled. Jermall Charlo has a back injury. That's given way to widespread speculation that perhaps the fight wasn't selling, so they decided to move it, or that they're going to call it off altogether. Maybe Charlo has found a better opponent. The only way this is a save is if Jermall Charlo intends to debut as a super middleweight this year and they decided not to waste any time or any money on this, because in many ways, that's what it is. You have to pay these guys to get in the ring. You got to pay the guys that are holding the cameras, pay for the the location of the fight, and this is all for a fight that nobody really wants to see. I'm not even sure. I think it was supposed to go down the same day as Better Beef versus Joe Smith. I'm not sure. I think it was. But it's like, why would you spend money? In other words, the only way this is a save is if they're going to scrap the whole thing and maybe do a better fight later on this year. We know that Demetrius Andrade, he hasn't vacated his WBO title yet. He was at the Tank Davis versus Rolly Romero fight. So is that, does that herald a partnership between him and the PBC? Are they going to see about doing a fight between them? Because I do have a sneaking suspicion that he may go over there. He might. Maybe he goes over there. Maybe he fights Charlo. We know that Charlo versus Andrade is a safer fight than Charlo versus Benavidez. We know he doesn't really want to fight Benavidez. We know that he's still holding out hope to get a Canelo fight, and I don't know why he would think that when the roadmap is already set. They're going to do the Golovkin fight and then the Bivol fight. So why would you still be waiting around for Canelo? That roadmap is already set. So it's kind of like, if you have to choose in an Andrade fight, maybe you get outpointed. Maybe you lose a decision, but you don't get your head knocked off. With Benavidez, that's what you're facing. You're facing a guy that's probably going to knock you out. So if you had to choose, that would be the lesser of two evils. And Andrade being in limbo right now, no news on a rescheduled Zach Parker fight, and I don't expect there to be any news. I don't expect that fight to be rescheduled. Drew says, lying only should be Mal Charlo's nickname. Jules, how would Tank vacate if the WBA ordered Mandy versus Haney? Well, let's put it this way, man. The WBA seems to be in bed with the PBC. So I don't know that they would want to put Gervonta Davis on the spot like that. You know what I mean? Because even with an order, I don't expect the fight to happen. You saw what just happened between Isaac Cruz and Ryan Garcia. The alphabet's ordering a fight doesn't actually guarantee that the fight happens. It doesn't. They ordered that fight and it didn't happen. A couple of years ago, they ordered Mikey Garcia versus Jorge Linares. That didn't happen. Nobody got stripped. Nobody got in trouble. So even if the WBA were to order that fight, I don't think it would matter. He would probably vacate it with impunity. They still wouldn't say nothing about him vacating the title. Or, they'd call it off themselves, the way the WBC called off the fight they ordered. I'm not expecting him to fight Devin Haney for one main reason, and that's the money. Devin Haney just flew to Australia into hostile territory to beat the unified champion in his own backyard. He's not going to come back to America and accept peanuts for a fight. Even if Gervonta Davis sells more tickets, even if he's been on pay-per-view and Devin Haney hasn't, that means both fucking diddly. I still don't expect a guy who's been making good money and just made good money to accept peanuts and be the B-side to a dude with a baby belt. I don't see that happening. I don't see them fighting, to be real with you. I don't see them fighting. You know what I mean? Was goody Lisa, was goody country. Daniel Mofongo, que lo que? Willie Lynch was good. Deb was good. Alfred was good. Michael was good. Lisa, I already said what up to Lisa. Adele was good. Chris was good. You know what I mean? Jay was good. Country was good. Avo was good. Don't ask me what's good. Busted Rhymes, Buried Rhymes was good. Mizzy in the building. There go Mr. PBC here to make more stupid arguments. And yeah, yo, that's why I think he'd vacate fast. Yeah, he probably would, man. I mean, them ordering a fight doesn't guarantee a fight. Like, That doesn't guarantee a fight. No more than the WBC ordering a fight guarantees a fight. There's nothing that's going to force him because he doesn't care about belts. So belts and what they represent in it of themselves, that's not leverage to him. You know, that might be leverage to a Lomachenko or a Usyk because they want that. They want that legacy. That might be leverage to a Devin Haney who just fought for all the belts. But to Gervonta Davis, so long as he could sell out a little 18,000 at the Barclays and sell a little 200,000 and change pay-per-views, 275, not even really 275, because they didn't say it hit 275. They said it will. So long as he could keep doing numbers like that, he think he Julio Iglesias. So I don't even know why people keep attaching him to fights. He was attached to the Farmer fight. That didn't happen. Attached to the Loma fight. That didn't happen. Attached to the Teofimo fight. That didn't happen. Now they want to attach him to Devin. It's like, bro, that fucking fight is not going to happen, fam. And he about to be 30. Like, he 27 going on 28. You 2 years away from 30, bro. It's like, come on, B. None of that is going to happen. Lady Chin in the building. You know what I mean? Like, none of that is going to happen. All right. Now back to the Charlo stuff. I just kind of get the sense that it's a bit of a save because when you do a show, you have to spend money to do that show. You know, you got to spend money to put together a show, put together the undercard, put together the main event, and you're spending money to put together a fight that nobody wants to see. It just doesn't make sense. And it could be a save for Charlo if he saves himself some time. And just go up to 168 now, bro. Nobody wants to see you fight this dude. Nobody want to see a Sulecki fight. But if you go up there this year, get your feet wet at 168 this year, well, at least you saved yourself some time. That's assuming the injury is fake. We don't know that the injury is fake. It could be real. In any event, for a guy who only fights once a year, getting injured, well, that could cost you the year because you don't fight that much as it is. So what does that do for your stock? What does that do for your marquee value? I mean, I'm going to open up the chat to the panel, and we're going to get into some burning topics in the sport of action. Get into some burning topics. And yeah, man, it's like nobody cared about that fight. So it being canceled is actually good news in a way. Don't waste the paying public's time with these farce fights that nobody wants to see. You know what I mean? Hey, we got Mr. Top Rank in the building, Drew in the building. Dr. J, I don't know who that is.
Oh, it's me. What's up, Jules?
Hey, what's good, EJ? Avo in the building, Country in the building. So I want to go around the board. Everybody one at a time. Go around the board. I'm going to start with Leo. Leo, do you believe he's really injured?
I think he never wanted to fight Sulecki. And maybe it wasn't selling, or maybe he got a better fight now. You were saying Andrade was an option, or maybe he was planning to move to 168.
Yeah.
Now, but to be honest, I think a lot about boxing every day, and Jermar Charlo is not one of the topics in my mind.
That was beautiful. Ouch. Everybody clap. That was beautiful, bro. That was beautiful. I'm gonna go to Drew. Drew, just go with your gut. Go with your instincts. What do your instincts tell you? Do you believe he's injured, or do you believe there's something else?
I believe there's something else. I believe the tickets weren't selling, but also, Drews, I think he's seen his brother and now Devin Haney, and like he's feeling the pressure of like, bro, like these other brothers that are fighting, they're trying to do something legacy-wise, and he sees the shit everybody talking about him, even from his contemporaries, not even the fans, other fighters.
That's true.
You can't look at it straight. Remember, he was holding his brother's belts, bro.
He was. And remember, Drew, they're twin brothers. So
exactly.
It's not the same, even though just because they're brothers, like, you know that they have tension, you know that they have arguments and they have falling outs, because we saw one play out publicly during the shutdown, and that's when Jermell let the cat out of the bag. They're like, yo, I'm 154 Charlo, I would never turn down Canelo. That's what he said.
Add to that, Drew, like there's only one Charlo in boxing now holding the legacy up of the Charlo name.
Yep, and it's
only
not Jamal.
And there's only one Charlo on the pound for pound list. But I had a question for you, Jules. How does, from a card like that and the card like the last Benavidez card, the ratings went half from the Undisputed with Charlo? How does Showtime even make money off the card when they're giving $1 million licensing fees?
Well, I think, honest to God, I think it's a money laundering operation, because I think most big operations to some degree are laundering money. I mean, it's what I would do. Honest to God, it's what I would do. If it's me and it's like, well, how can you make money off of Charlo versus Sulecki? Maybe it's a money laundering operation. You fudge the numbers, you play with the books, and really it's not even about getting Charlo a fight. You know what I mean? Like, because looking at the fight through in a conventional lens, where you put on a fight and you hope to attract attention, you hope to get viewership, you hope to sell tickets, right? That's why you put on the fight. That's how you intend to generate revenue and make a profit. Well, why would you put that fight on then? That fight's not going to do any of that.
That's not. Is that even $1 million fight?
I don't think it is. Honest to God, I think the whole card is probably $1 million. That's saying that Charlo should get 400,000, Sulecki should get 200,000, 100,000 to the undercard fighters, right? That's not, like, being real. Like, it's not a fight that anybody wants to see. That's one. He's not a hot ticket seller. Like, I would go as far as saying, it's not even far-fetched. Ryan Garcia generated $1.4 or $1.3 million with his little fight with Emmanuel to go. This card would not have generated that. No, it wouldn't have. Now let me go to Jay. Jay, what do your instincts tell you? Or just what are you thinking? Do you believe he's injured, or do you believe poor ticket sales, or they found something better? Just what do you think is going on?
Okay, I'm Dr. J tonight. How you doing, fellas? My diagnosis of the situation is due to two reasons. Reason number one being, Jamal unfortunately broke his back from carrying the weight of the guilt to ducking Demetrius Andrade for many years. I mean, it finally caught up to him, you know, and his back just couldn't support the weight of the conundrum, you know. And reason number two being, he got to look at the Sulecki fights, right, with Danny Jacobs and Demetrius Andrade, right? He lost to those guys. Now, everybody knows on this panel, including me, that, you know, Sulecki lost clearly to those guys, but in Jamal's eyes, he gave them a lot of problems, and he decided he didn't want that. So, you know.
Ooh, are we hearing the D word? We hearing the D word?
Yes, we are. Yes, we
ducked.
Are. Wow,
he ducked that guy.
Yes, and I think that's my physical diagnosis from Dr. J. Next, please.
Okay, let me read this super chat. Then I'm gonna go to Virtuoso. You staying up tonight? Julius starts at 5:30. Hell, motherfucking no. I get up early every day just because that's my body clock. So I'm gonna get up for the fight. But this is not gonna be a long live. Virtuoso, what the hell is happening here? What's going on?
Yeah, man. Before I even chime in on this, Junior 5 really got knocked up by Lucas Brown.
Bro,
anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway.
That's the history,
bro.
Listen,
Jules said Junior Fox couldn't go back to the poly community after that.
Oh, he cannot go back. He got to go and hide him, man, just like Thor.
Exactly. But what's happening with this Charlo shit, bro? Like, what the hell is happening here? Like, do you feel that he's just hurt? He has a back injury, or do you not believe the cover story?
I don't think people really give a shit about this fight, really.
I think we never did.
So I have to attribute this to like low ticket sales, and like there's no buzz around this fight. So yeah, that must be it. But like, if he's injured, man, I mean, like, I feel sorry for the dude, man. It just gotten worse since his brother called him out on turning down Canelo fight.
Yeah. Let me go to country. Country, it's like every time a guy gets injured now, right? I think because we're all seasoned boxing fans, a part of us just never believes it. You know what I mean? It depends on the guy. It depends on the situation. Do you believe that he's really injured or that it's all bullshit? It's just something else.
I think it's something else, to be honest with you. You know what? I think his mind is kind of messed up on a level like Tio is in a way, man. And he ain't got his stuff straight. And he's got to be depressed because, look, Haney just got undisputed. His brother just got undisputed. What's he done? Who's he fought? I mean, come on. He got drunk and ran behind security on live TV from David Benavidez.
That's true, though.
I mean, come on. He's jumped the shark at this point. And he's made himself look bad. He got roasted on hot boxing by Mike Tyson for not stepping up. I mean, everything's got to be getting to that guy, and his mind has got to be screwed right now.
Country,
one at a time. I want to say this to Country's point. If you saw, they did an interview after Jermell became undisputed champion, and they asked Jermall, what are you gonna do? And you could just kind of read his face that it was kind of like he trying to smile it off and shit, but it's like, yo, you feel some type of way, bro. You do. You've been in 2 weight classes and you never did that. You never did that.
Yeah, the guy just, he's got to be feeling depression at this point. And, pulling out was it's bullcrap. He should have been fucked this dude. This guy's, on the level he should be, this guy should be an easy tune-up.
All right, let me read the super chat. Let me read the super chat before I go to Ivo. I'm gonna catch the playback at work tomorrow. Peace. Willie Lynch says, "Hey now, Maul wins the imaginary fights. Ain't that
the imaginary fights?
Just like Tank. Ivo, do you believe he's injured? Do you believe there's something else going on here?"
I'm gonna ring the same points I had beforehand. Not a lot of people gave a shit about this fight, man. I can't think of that many people, but I think he is injured. Let me tell you why. Carrying your brother's belts like that, man, it's heavy, man. It's heavy, man. Hey, Deontay Wilder, his suit was too heavy for him. What makes you think those belts aren't heavy?
That's a fair point. Let's pull up the belts. These aren't actually Jermel's belts. These are Devin's belts, but still, they do look heavy. I mean, it's a lot of hardware.
Yeah, hey, man.
It's hard to be an undisputed champion, so you know what I mean? So you actually believe the injury, that he incurred the injury the night of the undisputed
fight?
I
mean, he's holding these belts, so that means he beat Brian Castano a couple of weeks ago. So that means like wrong Charlo. Oops. My bad. My bad, wrong Charlo.
Oh shit. All right, let me go to the good guy. Good guy. We're all, I guess, big. We're all very cynical, and we're all big fucking assholes. Is it possible that he's just injured and that's all it is? He's really injured and they really had to just postpone the fight.
I believe he's as injured as Dillian White was when he got injured his shoulder against Otto Wallin. I believe he's that injured, kind of injured. He is not injured. He's obviously dicking the Demetrius Andrade leftovers. So, no, he's not injured.
He's not injured. I mean, I don't think the more I look at this, right, just this is how cynical we've all become. We hear that a guy gets injured and we refuse to believe it. Wake up. Do you believe it? Do you believe he's injured, or do you believe, nah, they just caught this thing off because this is a piece of shit fight that nobody wants?
I mean, I don't know, man. I'll say he's probably not injured, but it's like, if he's not, like, what's the point of it? It's like, what's the fight you're gonna replace this with, or what's, you know what I'm saying? Like, what are you gonna give us in turn for this? Like,
it's a fair point. I kind of look at it as, you know what I look at it as? Look, they wasn't gonna make no money with this. They was gonna lose money on this. So like, you calling it off probably saves you a couple of dollars, because it's like, being real.
Right.
This fight ain't gonna sell. Like, nah. If you wanted to do something for Juneteenth, Charlo versus Andre, that's what you do for Juneteenth. You don't do Charlo versus the unheralded Polish guy that looked like. I'm just being real. It's Juneteenth, right? For the excellence.
Yeah.
So you supposed to put on an excellent fight. You supposed to put on a. That's not an excellent fight. It's not. That's not a nothing fight.
Yeah, I mean, so sorry to interrupt, Rico. Just let's just say like Sulecki actually caused the upset one. Does he get the Juneteenth belt?
You know what would be even more fucked up, AJ? AJ, you know what would be even more fucked up if they actually both them up as a skinhead and they put some tattoos on it and he lose to him.
You guys are missing the biggest point in this cancellation. Charlo is not going to be able to afford any more BLTs.
That's true. He's not going to be not till next year.
Come on.
But I got a question. Wasn't this fight supposed to go down? I'm trying to look up the date right now for Better Beef. Yeah, Better Beef versus Smith is the 18th.
Oh yeah,
the same day.
Yeah, they weren't going to watch.
Do you think that do you guys hear that and think that perhaps that might be the reason they're like, look, we can't compete with that with this fight when that fight is happening the same night on a network that reaches more homes.
That's true, because I would think that way, because remember there was the conversation that Charlo and Spence was being pushed back because Canelo and Golovkin were on maybe the same day. So yeah,
that is true. The initial reports, or at least with Ishe Smith, a former champion Ishe Smith, he initially said that he heard the holdup is they wanted to do the fight in September, but because Canelo's fighting that day and he already announced his fight, they had to push it back. So now it's going to happen in October. I don't like, do you bother to reschedule a Sulecki fight? Like, really, you got to reschedule that? People need to see that? You got to move it?
It doesn't matter what date you put it. I don't think that fight really sells. In my opinion,
it doesn't at all.
It's a piece of shit.
It is. Now, it would be, Julius, it would be a great injury, really, if tomorrow we find out that Charlo and Benvenidez is announced. That would be a great injury.
There you go. But
right.
I spoke to Benavidez's promoter 2 weeks ago. I spoke to him 2 weeks ago on the Spaces on Twitter, and what he communicated to me is he wants to get David back out in the fall against David Morrell. Mike is that?
They make
situation mics, man. I don't want to hear that fucked up crackling and crunching and shit. But he told me that they trying to do Benavidez versus Morrell in the fall. So look, to your point, if that's the fight that he has, that's great, isn't it? Isn't that great? If it's Charlo versus Benavidez next, that's great.
You gotta give him some liquid courage first, though. Otherwise, he won't take it.
Well, they're not gonna have water in his water bottle in the corner. They're gonna have vodka. So I mean,
okay, there you go.
Have water bottle, or like I said, I have a sneaking suspicion that Demetrius is going to the PBC, and if the byproduct of him going over there is we finally do get Andrade versus Charlo, I'm okay with that too as a unification match. I'm okay with that. And maybe you do that. You know, if you're Andrade, what is the point in fighting Yanni Beck? Only degenerate boxing fans know who this man is. So what if the plan, and I'm hypothesizing, this is just me. Everybody listening to, I don't know what y'all got going on in the background, but what if the plan is, let's do Charlo versus Andrade, and it's not like the winner of the fight is going to stay at middleweight anyway, right? So let's just say, okay, if I'm Andrade, I want to fight Charlo. And after that, then I'll go up to 168. Yanni Beck don't even come into it. You ain't got to worry about him. Like, no, I'm not going to fight you, Yanni Beck, because I'm unifying with him. That's all right, too. I'll take it. That's not bad. Andrade versus Charlo. Winner moves up in weight. Loser gets out of town. That's not bad.
Because Julius, you say he went to a PBC fight. Has he ever gone?
Yes, he did.
He did. He was at the Tank fight. He was at the Tank versus Rolly fight.
Has he ever gone to any PBC fights before that?
I've never seen. Honest to God, if he did, I didn't see that shit.
He was there for a reason.
Yeah.
I think. Look, I said this to Alexis in the Spaces that him being there. What I took away from that is, did you meet somebody from the PBC and talk business and they threw you some tickets? Because I could see that happening. You know, they threw like, yo, you know, go here's some tickets. Go to the Tank fight. You know, here you go. I kind of got that vibe from that. And when he did the interview where he was at the fight, you know, he was talking about PBC fighters. Yep. That's what he was talking about. Fighting them.
And where else really is he going to go anyhow? I mean, where to get the big fights? He desperately wants the big fights.
You left Eddie, so yeah.
Yep. So he wants the big fights now, and I think that's the only place he can go.
Yeah, I mean, I said it in the spaces yesterday that if you're Andrade, right, believe it or not, the PBC might be a place that you want to go because they have David Benavidez, they have Caleb Plant, they have Anthony Durrell. There's, super middleweights that you can fight. Even if he was with Eddie right now, all Eddie could give you is some John Ryder, some Billy Joe Saunders.
Oh God! And Danny Jacobs, maybe. Not
even because Danny.
I don't know.
Bro, Danny, I think Danny is on the verge of retirement. Remember, Danny was supposed to fight Munguia and all of that. All of that. He got quiet for that. Now Munguia fighting. Who is the guy he fighting? What's his name?
Tomato Can.
I don't know that guy's name. I just know he looked like Sulecki. That's all I know. But yeah, man. Before we leave the Charlo subject, I'll close it up by saying that I don't believe he's injured. I can think of at least 5 palpable reasons you might call off that fight, and one of them is that it's not a good fight. Not a good fight. Nobody wants to see that.
In a year of unifications and undisputed bouts, back to back to back to back, who would? It's so stupid. If you buy that fight, you're just throwing your money at for nothing.
Think about it. The same night as the undisputed lightweight title fight, we also had a unified champion in action. Right? We have a unification match tomorrow in the morning. After that, we got the motherfucking Canelo undisputed with Golovkin, which I know Mr. PBC is going to watch because he loved him some Canelo.
But we got also.
Man, I hate the fact that Nui and Donaire is on at 3:00 in the freaking morning here, man.
It's going to be on. I mean, it's 5:30 for us.
All right, that's on you, man. You live on the West Coast, man.
Thank Mr. Honda that we're getting it. Julian's gonna have boogers in his eyes. He's gonna have his coffee, but he's gonna fucking watch it. We're all gonna be up watching it.
Yeah, I mean, but it's like this is not the year. This is not the year for the shit show fights.
Yeah, better be Evan Jones.
Oh, who mic is that, man? Everybody mute. Who mic is that? Get your tech together. I hear echo. But yeah, it's not the year for the bullshit. Like, it really ain't. You still got Canelo versus Golovkin coming up. You still got Joshua versus Usyk coming up, part 2. It's not the year for the bullshit fights.
There better be a Smith fights coming up too close.
Bro, that's another one that it's not it's a unification match. It is not the year for the bullshit fights.
Jules, read the super chat.
Sulecki looked like a low tier bro. He looked like Krillin. He looked like Krillin.
Oh no!
He looked like Krillin.
A young Krillin.
He do, bro. Wow.
He looked like Krillin, bro. He looked like Krillin, and Charlo is Piccolo. He Piccolo.
Man.
Man. Look, we're probably gonna get Crawford versus Spence this year.
Yeah,
you know
finally.
I hope so.
Thank God. If we do.
And that kind of facilitates the point that this is not the year for the bullshit fights. Me and Drew, and I told Drew this a couple of lives ago, that look, they did great viewership for the Charlo versus Castaño fight, right? Now we got to see what Benavidez and Lemieux going to do. And lo and behold, half the viewership. Half. You brought in a little over 800,000 with the undisputed, close to 1 million. But when you put on this doodle fight, right, look, half. What you think Charlo versus Sulecki would have brought in, bro?
Do you think it would have hit 100,000?
I think it would have hit above 3 or 4, but not more than 4, or just a little more than 4, if that, because there's another fight happening that night with somebody going to the hospital. That's gonna cut into the viewership, bro. You got to fight on ESPN with 2 punches that somebody gonna get knocked out, and ESPN is a bigger network than Showtime. So yeah, you probably would have. If anything, they might have did 3 or even 250. It's another fight on that night, man.
Damn.
All right, now we're gonna move off of that, and we're gonna go to the Devin Haney critics. There's a lot of people. I understand this much. Pure boxers are not action fighters, so they don't put on riveting performances, not unless they're in there with a pressure fighter. But I'm gonna start with Wake Up, I'm gonna start with Wake Up. Why is everybody putting all the blame on Haney when it's George's job to, get around the jab and pressure him? And why is it all on one guy when it's two guys in the ring?
I don't know, man. Haney's got the bad rap just since being the email champion and whatnot, and I don't know. I believe it's not like more PBC like fanatic dudes who's saying whatnot about the fight being boring. Tank is their guy, so they're gonna go with the knockout. You know what I'm saying? Regardless, that's what they want to see. Regardless,
that is true. That people want to see knockouts. Good guy. I understand that it was a ho-hum fight, and maybe it doesn't bother me as much because I said it's going to be a ho-hum fight. I said it's going to be a quiet fight. It's going to be a cerebral fight. But how do you look at that fight? Like when you see a fight like that, do you levy the blame to Devin, or do you say, nah, George is the good
George. No, it's George. I was never high on George. I never was. I think Devin was just the better boxer. I just was never high on him. I thought the Teofimo Lopez fight, it was just one of those flash in the pan upset scenarios. I was really never high on him. He struggled against guys like Selby and Big Mickey Bay. I was just never high on him. I think Devin was just a better boxer.
I'm going to ask Ivo a different question. Ivo, is this proof that George just happened to catch Lopez at the right time? Do you feel like it's proof, or is it just a case of styles making fights?
A little bit of both. I think it's a little bit of both. Look, I've made it pretty obvious. I thought George was going to win, if I'm being honest with you. But you see, in my mind, I think I conflated that Teofimo victory and how it looked. And yeah, I'll admit it, I was pretty biased when I approached this fight. I'll be honest with you. But with the power of hindsight, being able to look back at it, I'm not going to call it a boring fight, because if you call this a boring fight, then you think Shakur Stevenson puts you straight to sleep, because it's a similar style matchup. So yeah, I think, in my opinion, the fight did not go how I thought it was going to go. I honestly thought he was going to just up the ante a little bit. But hey, it is what it is. The fight happened. I'm happy we finally got undisputed. I think this is more opportunity for Devin Haney now. I don't know how he's going to go up a weight class, though. I don't think his opportunity up is going to be as good as it is down here. But
well, let me say this, Ivo, before I go to country. If I'm Devin Haney, I don't worry about a belt as soon as I go to 140. I get Teofimo. I get Teofimo in the ring. That's a cash fight. That's a cash fight. Without a belt, that's a cash fight. And you get you make your bones at 140 pounds with everyone else, because to your point, and I know the point you're making because I've made it myself several times, 140 is not for play. It's killers up there. Some of them actually have killed people. You know what I mean?
Regis is the one that comes to my mind.
So you can shake off George with the jab. It's going to take more than that at 140. And I don't say that to knock Devin, but that's just how I evaluate a fight. That look, if you were in there with Regis, or if you were in there with Subriel Matias, yeah, it's going to take more than a jab.
Zapata.
But to add on to what you're talking about, critics, I don't think anyone in this weight division can criticize Devin Haney, especially Ryan and Gervonta Tank Davis. I think that is stupid. One had an emotional distress at the prospect of fighting Fortuna, and the other one is fighting the Rolly Romeros, the pound for pound negatives over there. So like again, it's a stupid idea to say, oh yeah, Haney's a boring fighter. Yeah, fine. Let's say he is boring. So what? He won. Yeah. He did what he had to do. He came in there. If he, like you said, if he can win of just literally just jab, half step, jab, half step. Why would he do something else? Why would he risk a knockout to himself in foreign country when he can play it safe and win by like almost? I had him winning. I had George having like 2 rounds at most, and that's being very generous.
Yeah, honest to God, I had like 10 rounds, Devin, maybe politically with generosity and goodwill.
Exactly.
Yeah, it was very hard to find 2 rounds to give George. Before I pass the country, let me read the super chat. Neither are to blame. Modern boxing rules are at fault. You want a great fight? Make the second fight a fight to the finish. I got Devin by 30th round KO. Let me say this. It's not that a pure boxer can't be in a good fight, and it's not that a pure boxer can't be made uncomfortable. A lot of people, I was in the Facebook groups a lot when this fight went down, and that was the Jarrett Hurd versus Erislandy Lara fight. And I told guys that Hurd's going to steamroll that guy. He's going to walk through all that bullshit, and he's going to get the Lara. And you know, Lara's so skilled. Oh my God, the Cuban school, the jab. I'm like, he's going to walk through that shit, bro. He's going to walk through, because pure boxers don't like pressure. Don't matter which one you're talking about. Whether you're talking about Devin or you're talking about Sky Nicholson, pure boxers, they do not like pressure. So when you got somebody that they not worried about all that, they going to slip and slide or catch it on the arms as they coming in, that'll put them in an uncomfortable place. And when I think about that, I'm like, well, then it's not Devin's fault. It's George's fault.
Honestly, the way the fight unfolded, I wouldn't even want to see that rematch, man.
I don't see it either. Just I'm being real with you. Like, not even knocking Devin, but no, I don't want to see a second fight. Like, bro, it's gonna be the same thing. No, it's gonna change. Napoli says, who on the panel has Cordina versus Ogawa as the knockout of the year?
Definitely a candidate.
Yep, candidate. Up there. I'd say the Lee Wood knockout over Conlon.
It's a front runner
for me so far. That's the one.
I mean, as far as a cold knockout, that was pretty good. Like, you know, Michael fell through the rope. I ain't gonna lie. Now that I think about it, it might be Conlon.
Michael got knocked out the fucking ring, man.
I have. Yeah, because it was much more dramatic, and you know, Lee Wood had to, you know, mount a comeback.
Yeah, but that fight of the year? Is that fight of the year or knockout of the year?
It could have either one. But I got knockout of the year as Canelo knocking out Triple G in September and Isan crying in the corner.
Oh, here comes Mr. PBC. He's giving me his money. I'll be happy to read it. Just keep giving me your money.
He worked hard for that money. Remember?
All right, let me read it. Floyd beat Canelo, kind of like Devin beat Bozos. The Canelo boy said Floyd was boring too. Haters are still mad. Bet me 500 Bivol versus Canelo 2 posse. I'll tell you what. As soon as you get Canelo's dick out your mouth, I'll take you seriously. Because if we gonna violate, bro, you got that dude all the way. That dude dick is all the way touching his stomach, fam. Like, you really on that man dick. That is 2 weeks later. It's 2 weeks later. You still giving me your money so we could keep talking about Canelo.
He spelled pussy wrong.
He did. Yeah. He did.
Bro, and to add on to his point,
let me flip this shit. Get Canelo dick out your mouth, because ain't nobody even up here talking about Canelo except your dick in the booty ass. Like, get dick out your mouth.
Oh, get out your mouth. Hot take.
Canelo fans in general,
how he gonna claim that we the Canelo boys, but he the only cocksucking motherfucker talking about Canelo? No, we up here talking about Devin.
Well, here's the thing. I think the Canelo fans he hates are typically the casuals, and I understand hating them for saying stupid shit. But
bro,
here's
I'm
the
not
thing.
responsible for the argument that he had with Joe Blow on Facebook, or Harry Knuckles on Twitter. Like, bro, I don't got nothing to do with me. We literally up here. We went from Charlo to Devin, and he over here wondering if Canelo's pubes is red.
Here's the point I'm trying to make when I say that. When I say that, the point I'm trying to make is, typically speaking, they don't give a shit about Devin Haney. So why would you compare Floyd to Haney and like?
Well, that's how I know he a casual, because Floyd didn't fight like that at 35. But yo, look, I'm gonna tell you what, PBC. The only way I'm gonna read anything you say is if it's in the form of your money going into my pocket. Other than I can't see you, bro. I can't see you, bro. Where you at?
Let's get back to the Devin. Let's get back to the Devin.
Also, I got Devin when he fights. I don't know about all that. I don't know about all that. Like, you wilding.
Devin can't knock out a guy at 135, man. I don't think.
Here's the thing, Jules. I don't have no issue with Devin's performance for the first 6-7 rounds, but Devin, it's like in any other sport. The competition, when it's elite and you're fully outclassing somebody, Kobe Bryant was gonna still step on your fucking neck.
Yeah.
Muhammad Ali, they didn't let up on inferior competition. I'm not saying Devin had to get careless or reckless, but he could have put 2 and 3 punches together without getting hit.
Close the show, so to speak.
Look, it's more than me
like that. Close the show.
Let me say this. Pure boxers, and everybody knows this about me. I don't really like pure boxers. To watch them, no, I don't like them. I like boxer punchers and pressure fighters. But that doesn't mean the pure boxer doesn't deserve praise. When you think about it in context, this is the guy that disassembled Teofimo Lopez last year. He's still that same guy. I'm not going to change it. I'm not going to dress it up. And I said it in a video I did. All that shit you did to Teofimo, you're not going to be able to do none of that to Devin. So that's my way of giving him his flowers, that even if I don't think your fights are the most entertaining, you still deserve a lot of praise and a lot of respect for what you did. You made it look easy. Where Teofimo had to go life and death, I don't care why you went life and death. We all got shit going on. We all got baggage. You went life or death with George. He beat George with one hand. So how can I not give him his props? Even if it was boring, he still beat him with one hand. How can I not give him his props?
Because he ducked Rolly Romero, clearly.
Clearly. Clearly. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's that, man. I mean, I think that the association with Floyd, it probably gets on people's nerves, and that also makes them not like Devin. That they just don't like pure boxers, but they don't know how to put it into words. That you know what you don't like? You don't like pure boxers. That's what you don't like, and it's okay if you don't like them. I'm not big on them either. I'm not. I like fighters that's gonna mix it up in the pocket. You could be a defensive fighter, but be like Tevin Farmer, defensive in the pocket, rolling punches and countering with punches and throwing. The fight he had with John O'Carroll. Great fight. Both guys was going at it. But Tevin Farmer, he's a defensive fighter. Just because you defensive don't mean you're not going to throw. Be like James Toney. Roll punches off the shoulder, but in the pocket. Don't be way out there. It's not a fight if you out there, bro. It's really not a fight.
And that's how I know people didn't start watching boxing that talk about this till the Floyd De La Hoya fight. Because Floyd at 35 doesn't let George Kambosos go 12 rounds.
No, he doesn't. And that's why that's why I talk to the same people on most lives, because most other people are too fucking stupid to have this conversation. The version of Floyd that they saw was at the tail end of his career. They didn't see the Chico Corrales Floyd. They didn't see that. They didn't see the Gennaro Hernandez Floyd, the Angel Manfredi Floyd. They didn't see that. You just worried about what he did at 47 because that's all you fucking know. You parakeeting shit that other motherfucker said. When Floyd started out, bro, you're not going the distance with that dude. No George Kambosos goes the distance with that Floyd.
Devin doesn't hit hard, man.
And here's the thing. Uncle Roger or Floyd Sr. wouldn't let him go to distance with that kind of guy.
No. Let me read the super chat. Mr. T says, put Sawab's word on the screen for crying Ryan Garcia. How does someone whose heart pumps Kool-Aid always have the most shit to say about someone? Yo, you singing to the choir, bro, because when I seen that shit, the nerve in my neck, bro, is this dude like really, fam? You did everything you could, and you looked at every other option except Devin. You don't want nothing to do with, I don't care if you hit hard, I don't care. You don't want to fight that man. You're not going to tell me that fighting Fortuna, for example, means more or would have meant more than fighting Devin. No, the fuck it wouldn't have. No, it wouldn't have. Not fighting Jojo, not fighting Javier, none of them guys.
You're just mad that he's handsome, Jules.
Fuck out of here.
Nobody likes him because he's handsome.
Y'all know what the irony is? It's like that could have been Ryan in there on Saturday if he beat Devin. Could have been.
Yeah.
Could have been.
But Jules,
but it said he went 12 rounds from Emmanuel to go, and that was a fucking fight in which I was looking at my phone.
Bro, that's what I'm saying. Like, he was just in a boring fight. Go ahead, Avo.
You don't understand, Jules. Devin Haney is an email champ. He clearly doesn't deserve that belt. That fight in New Zealand or whatever unique place that town of Australia, that New Zealand, wherever they fought, that don't matter.
Listen,
that's not a real fight.
I literally don't know how Ryan Garcia's career is going to end, because I don't think people realize how ridiculous it is. He said he walked in the Reynoso gym, busted out crying, and then he ran out. Get that image, bro. Get that image. He walked in and he ran. What do you think Eddie and Canelo and Oscar and Frankie and all the what you think they did looking at that shit?
But you know they would laugh in their asses
That's
off.
what the fuck I'm like, bro. Like,
it's a PJ way.
That shit makes me uncomfortable. People crying out loud like.
Don't forget, he wants Canelo to say sorry.
Yeah, I mean, and then think about this, right? You about to fight Javier Fortuna, and you had a mental breakdown. But you're not mentally broken down enough that you don't take a selfie at the beach.
Or to talk shit about Devin.
Yeah, I mean, and he was talking shit too. That's the worst part. It ain't even you was literally talking shit to people when you supposed to be going through your mental period shit, your vagina and your brain.
How you going through a mental health period and you advertise some tequila?
You misunderstand the intricacies of such things. You see, it's quite simple. You know, just because you're mentally feeble or weak right now doesn't mean nothing. It comes once a month, man.
Yeah, I mean, and yeah, yo, I'm like, yo, it's just like, yo, I don't think people realize how indignant he is. That's the word I'm looking for. Like, yo, bro, like the shit you do, in no generation of boxing have I ever seen someone quite like Oscar. Yeah. I mean, like Ryan. We used to think that Oscar with the fishnets was bad, but at least he was fucking some broads. He a weird motherfucker. He was with some broads.
So is Ryan. Ryan's got three babies with like 3 different girls, man. So it's like that's another.
Hey, but if Ryan wins this fight, Oscar's gonna give him his own official pair of fishnets.
We'll take a selfie of that.
But like, I mean, like, let's look further. Like, what's after Fortuna? Diaz for Ryan?
Diaz, bro, you already know. Yeah. You already know. Diaz
leftovers.
Hey, Jules.
You know, he has an article out right now that he's gonna do everything in his power to do the Gervonta Davis fight. That golden boy is not. It's like
that shit ain't happening. Bro? That shit ain't happening. It ain't happening.
Hey,
like,
Jules. Hey, Jules. Back to what you were asking though. I don't blame either Haney or Kambosos. You got Haney fanboys blaming Kambosos, and you got Kambosos fanboys blaming Haney for the aesthetic of the fight. Haney put on a boxing clinic. From a pure boxing standpoint, it was a beautiful fight. He dominated him, controlled him with the jab, peppered to his face all night, pivoted and moved, and controlled him with the movement and the jab. So yeah. I had a disagreement with a guy who was trying to tell me that Haney had power, which he doesn't. He's not a big power puncher. Two, that Kambosos was playing it safe, and I told him, how is he playing it safe when he getting hit in the face all night?
Exactly.
And he's saying it's Kambosos' fault for not trying to do anything different and come forward, yada yada. And it's like, no, it's not his fault. What could he do? You know,
I'm gonna say this. You're getting at what I was trying to say the night of the fight. That look, it's a bad style matchup. George is not a pressure. He's not a pressure fighter, and you don't suddenly. I feel like the way that fighters fight has to do with an internal rhythm. That's the rate or that's the gear that you want to be in. That's how you want to go. And a pressure fighter, they got a different gear than a guy who's waiting for a counter shot, who's waiting for an opportunity. You'll see that George tries for the jab. He don't hit nothing. And when he don't hit nothing, he go back like, shit, I don't want to be out of position. I don't want to get hit with no shit because I'm already getting hit with shit. A pressure fighter, they don't care about that. They like getting hit. I'm going to give you an example. Ebony Bridges, she said this in passing, but she was joking, but she's a pressure fighter. And she said, I like getting hit. I think pressure fighters like getting hit. I think they like it. Like, yeah, it makes you feel alive.
It gives them that like extra, you know. I mean, like y'all know the Punisher, how like whenever he gets the shit beat out of him, he just like goes crazy and fucking kills everybody. Like,
it's an adrenaline rush.
You got the Mortal Kombat shit when the dude got the titty vest that he was fighting Goro and Goro was fucking him up, and then the fucking titty vest came out, the golden titty vest, and like you got to beat the shit out of him for him to power up, but he like it. He likes the punches.
Hey, Jules, here's the thing. For most boxing fans today don't like a pure boxer in a pure boxing match. They don't. And those type of fights are only for true hardcore boxing fans that'll appreciate that type of fight, even though the majority of people think it's a snorer or boring, whatever you want to call it. Devin could have did some things different, but he did put on a master class as far as skill goes. I appreciate that very much. I don't blame either fighter for the aesthetics. Like you said, it was a style. It's just a bad style matchup, but too many people are just too accustomed for people going for the knockout and not the stereotype.
It's kind of like if Andrade and Saunders would have happened. Most people don't realize that if that fight would have happened, it would have looked like Easter versus Bartholomew.
Oh God,
that's what it would have looked like.
Wait,
but also,
Julius,
go ahead, Leo. Go ahead, Leo.
Wait, I have a question. When Ebony Bridges was talking about that, are you sure he was talking about being hit in the ring?
She was come on. Come on. She was talking about fighting. She was talking about
fighting. She has a kink?
The thing is, fellas, like no era of boxing, the fans really liked pure boxers. Even back in the early from the 19s to like the 40s when the mob ran it, pure boxers didn't get fights if they didn't put no pressure on.
Being honest with you, and Drew's 100% right. You'd be pelleted with popcorn. Like they were real. Like if you think things are bad now, they were worse.
You wouldn't get fights.
You wouldn't get fights. And I think
that Roman times, yes, they'd be thrown to the lions. But Jules, let me just say this. I think fans need to just kind of step back and gain some fucking perspective of who these people are. Like Haney is just a pure boxer, and from what you're telling me, it was a foregone conclusion that he was going to make Kambosos look really, really bad. Now, I just kind of found it ironic, how the fight turned out, considering that he was a guy that made Teal look flat-footed, and he was the one that looked like fucking Teal in that fight, except he didn't get knocked down. Now, I've kind of accepted the reality that Haney is just what he is, and he has those limitations. And what I mean by limitations is that chin, and people are very quick to judge a fighter based on how well they can take a punch. So it could be that, I'm a fight boring in order to win. I don't want to get caught. I'm not gonna open up for you to get clipped with a fucking counter shot. No.
Well, also to your point, Virtuoso, this is one thing that's consistent with pure boxers. They don't take the best punch.
And they're not going to open up.
A lot of them don't. They don't have good chins. Yeah,
they don't.
Like Tony Harrison. Look, Tony Harrison. I think he's an entertaining pure boxer. Like he's actually entertaining. I honestly, the fight that he was fighting with Charlo, very entertaining fight. But it was the same underlying principle: keep it long and loose, move and punch, and stay behind the jab. But he don't take the best punch. He don't.
I think you might have heard me say this, but like him teaming up with Ben Davison, I think that was a match made in heaven.
I mean, I don't know, because at the same time, you know what I think, Virtuoso? We talking about a 23-year-old, and I don't lose sight of that. That like, whatever he's doing now, he's not even in his prime. Like he's literally young. Like you young, you know what I mean? And you're great that you can do this when you're young. So I'm just wondering, when he's 26, when he's 27, what's this guy gonna look like?
But is he gonna develop that power?
Well, I think he will, or at least he's never going to be a knockout puncher. He's never going to be that. But can he land with authority with counter shots? Because a lot of times the way a pure boxer will get a knockout is they'll hurt a guy with a counter shot. Hit him with something he don't see. It don't have to be a lot on it, but because he didn't see it, it'll do some damage. So it'll come. You know what I mean? It'll come.
Okay. Look, we all saw it in the Jorge Linares fight. Everyone can get hurt in a fight. That's not the issue. The issue for me is Devin Haney didn't regain his composure for 3 rounds.
That's
in
true.
That fight.
That's true.
That's a lot.
It is.
I mean, if you are wobbly the whole round and you recuperate and regain yourself to the next round and keep doing your work, that's fine. But this guy knows that at this level he can't take a punch.
Now, Leo, can I counter that with a question? Do you think that because of that, Kambosos kind of like try to prep himself by trying to throw like just one punch and then open up his office through that?
I think Kambosos fought the fight he fought because that is the way he fights every time.
Let me say this. Let me add this. Let me add this. He can't match Devin Haney's length. Devin is the longer fighter. He can't match Devin's speed. Devin is faster. So what you're seeing, he doesn't really have much of a choice but for things to work out that way. This is why I said that, like, a second fight, you're not going to do nothing differently, bro. Your feet ain't going to suddenly become faster. You're not going to suddenly become bigger. Your hands ain't going to, it's going to be the same thing all over again, which is why I don't want to see it, to be real with you. But, you know, he does have a right. He does have a rematch clause. And if he wants to exercise it, that's his right. I'm just saying, as a boxing fan, right?
It actually could be worse. You know, I mean,
maybe.
I mean, I give George a puncher's chance.
Okay, so from what you explained to me, Ring, like the pure boxer style can be withered by pressure. Mm-hmm. Now, what about intelligent pressure? Because we all know what the old man wants.
Well, intelligent pressure is often described as a couple of things. That the context for intelligent pressure. For example, intelligent pressure is beyond George Kambosos to do. That means you come forward in a high guard. You see how he fights? That he fights with his hands down instead of coming forward in a high guard. The reason he does that is because he's accustomed to being faster than the other guy. With Devin, that won't work. So if you want to be intelligent, well, you'd come forward in a high guard looking to counter his jab. But you're not fast enough to counter his jab. You're not fast enough. You'll try that and end up looking real silly.
And Kambosos doesn't know how to cut the ring.
His only chance to get close to Devin to try to get that right hand off was if he doubled up on the jab, and he didn't do it, and his corner didn't tell him to do it either.
And the other thing is, even if he like, let's say he doubles, triple, because it is true, you know, if you want to get close to him, double up and triple up on the jab. That way he protects himself, and then you can bring over. It's exactly like, in other words, even if you do that, it doesn't guarantee success. The best thing for George to do, right, and this would take time. This would not happen in one fight. You need to work on your feet and cutting off the ring. Your feet will be your weapon in that fight, not even your hands. Your feet will be the weapon, because that half step back that Devin takes, that shit was killing him. Devin a jab, and then if George tried to jab, Devin to take a half step back, he's way out of range. You can't do nothing. You're close enough that he can hit you, but your arms are shorter, so you can't hit him. The best thing for you to do is to be a metronome, move side to side, slip the jab as you come forward. Don't open up until you have him in the corner. And like Country said, that's an uphill battle because you're not that guy. You know who is that guy? Isaac Cruz.
Well, see, now here's the other thing, too, though. He should have been going for the body instead of the head, because the head was
not close enough, Country. Not close enough to touch the body. He's not close enough to touch his face, let alone his body.
True, but I think the body's closer than the head, though, right?
No, the body's bigger than the head. It's a bigger target, but George wasn't close enough to consistently go there. Consistently.
He couldn't close the distance. He couldn't close the
distance. He couldn't land any hooks to the body.
Right. Now, Isaac Cruz, and this is going to sound funny, maybe Isaac don't win the fight, but I feel in my gut, Isaac would give Devin a lot more problems than George. Why? He has the style for it. He has the style. Side to side, coming in low at a slight crouch, throwing bombs. Everything he throws is a bomb. So whatever he touch you with, it's a bomb. It's not a jab. Every time he hits you on the arms, it's a power shot. And he coming in at a slight crouch, getting under your jab, slipping your jab, and following up immediately with an overhand right. Immediately, that he's going to look to land that punch. He may land it at least once.
Yeah.
Here comes Isan. Hey, Isan.
Oh,
What's
my
up,
God. Here we go.
What's up, Isan?
Eat a dick, bro. Eat a dick, bro. Eat a dick, bro.
How does it feel to know that Triple G is going to get knocked out?
You get slid, bro.
He said slid.
Man,
That's
this is crazy. We went from fuck you, Isan, to eat a dick, bro.
Wow. Yo, you had to be there. That shit was funny as hell, bro. I was at work dying. That shit was funny as hell.
But just to the point to get back on the subject, styles make fights, and George just doesn't have the style for no pure boxer. None. He doesn't have the style for it. Someone else, he can look formidable, which is why I don't want it to be treated like, oh, George was just a piece of trash. No, he literally just doesn't have the right style. Against somebody else, he'll do all right. Don't forget, this man took a power shot from Teofimo late in the fight and got up. A lot of other motherfuckers would not have got up. Comey, he looked like, you see what happened to him. He was a wreck when he went out. He was
they got to put out the chalkboard line.
He had spaghetti legs.
Like he just lost his Christmas tree or something.
Real shit. Like he just
like an omelet.
By the way, Comey's about to fight Jose Pedraza, guys. Which y'all think you heard about that?
Wait, Mr. PBC wants to give me more of his money. Everybody stop.
Oh shit!
That's right. Give me that. No, wait. Let me do this. Give me that money. All right. Give me your money. All right. Now it says Canelo is scared to fight the rematch with Bivol, but give props to Kambosos wants to smoke. Your Canelo don't. LOL. Bet me ring IQ 500. Pay your heating bill. Like, he really think I'm picking beef? I don't know why he's running with that narrative. Like, I literally don't. But as long as you keep giving me your money, right? I'll keep reading your super chat. So send that money in, bro.
Julius,
keep sending your money.
Julius, if you want to bet on that rematch, I'll take your money. Again.
Listen, bro, I said that I don't know if Canelo can win the rematch, and I said that the day after the fight. 168, 175. I don't know if he could win that rematch. Why? Bad style matchup.
Yeah.
It's not, what exactly, right? Think about it. You do it at 168. What the fuck are you gonna do differently? What?
He's gonna hope. You know what's so sad? The only hope he has at that point, and this is literally the only point of him doing it at 68. He's gonna hope Dimitri's too drained to even be able to move enough. That's good.
That would be the only thing to take.
That's the only change of that fight. Is maybe Dimitri is a little drained, a little dry, so he's gonna be less energetic. But it's like, bro, besides that, he's gonna be like his chin. I mean, his best bet is that Dimitri's drained. But besides
the most tactically that I see that he could do differently, and it's not even a guarantee that it would work. But the most that he could hope to do differently is, instead of coming forward in a high guard and looking to catch and shoot, instead of doing that, look to slip the jab and counter the jab. That'll throw Dimitri off. Yeah, you're quick enough to do that, to counter the jab. You literally tried to overpower a guy that's bigger than you. I don't know. And maybe it was the Callum Smith fight that made him think he could do that.
Yeah, it was. He
said
in an interview, the zone shit. He said that he tried to use his 168 style, but it didn't work. I'm like, yeah, bro. But I'm like, what are you gonna do in a rematch? You're gonna stand there, center ring, and try to duck Dimitri, grab and counter him? You don't have
the best way to disrupt Dimitri, and you do have to be fast enough to do it. And I think you have to catch him not to the body. You got to nail him right on the kisser with the counters. You got to counter the jab, because Dimitri's best weapon is not no left hook. It's not a straight right. It's not an uppercut. His best weapon is the jab. So if you want to beat him, you got to take that away. And it's hard to do that.
And guess what?
It's very hard to do that.
The last time Canelo had the chance to do that, 24 rounds with Golovkin, he never did it. So it's like we can't really even bank on that, because we've seen in the past you had that same chance, you never able to do it, and now you're facing a bigger guy who has faster hands than Golovkin too, more combinations added to it. It's like, bro, you're not canceling out that jab. And
the other thing is, if you couldn't counter Golovkin's jab, Golovkin throws his jab differently than Bivol, right? Golovkin's jab is slower because it's a step jab. It's a step jab. Like, he steps into that jab and brings his body weight forward with it, right? And you couldn't counter that. And it's slow. It's slower than Dimitri's jab.
But
Dimitri's jab he's on the balls of his feet. He's moving and jabbing you while he's moving.
It's still a stiff jab that he throws too. When Dimitri
it's not stiff. No, it's not. If you look at his
sometimes he has a ramrod jab. Sometimes he throws it like it's sharp. There were a couple times he'd move, but he would flick. You know what? It would be like a flicking jab. You know what I mean? Like flicking one that would hit him.
When they're in the center of the ring, it's a flick jab. Now, the only time I saw him tense up that arm is when he backed Canelo into the ropes, and then he got it all out. Like, now the arm is all tensed up, and it's actually something on that jab. Mm-hmm. Remember when he was throwing them combinations? That's when he put something on the jab.
Yeah,
the rest of the time, he throwing a short jab because he don't want you to counter his jab. So he gonna keep it short. Like, nah, I'm gonna pity pat you with it, and I'm gonna just keep pity, but because I'm a light heavyweight, it's gonna hurt. Because it's a pity pat to the other light heavyweights. To you, this shit hurts because you fucking little ass man.
Yeah, and it's like it's just like a pointless. I don't know. It's a pointless rematch to me. It's gonna be annoying because now Canelo's gonna fucking hold up undisputed at light heavy potentially, which is.
No, I don't think he. I don't think. I mean, this is the other thing though.
You really don't think he's gonna meet even? All right. Let's say
it's not that. It's that Bob is not fucking with Bivol, fam. Like people always tell half the story. Unless something changed about Bivol's situation and what he trying to do, right? Unless something changed, so long as Matchroom is in the picture, it's Devin Haney all over again, bro.
Yeah, no, but the thing with Dimitri, he just has to get through this shit because he's only contractually obligated to fight there. Because obviously the rematch with Canelo and Matchroom as option as next fight. But once 20, if Bivol gets by, let's say Zerto or Buatsi next, and let's say he does fight Canelo, after that, then he's free to go. But in that time span, we have to hope that Artur, who's facing two punchers back to back, which I mean, you know,
bro, if Joe win, bro, who gonna want to see undisputed? If Joe
exactly, it's like, but the thing is, Bob has options with Artur right now, so it's like, why am I gonna put you with Bivol? It's a difficult fight to make. It's not in-house when I can do Smith in-house, then I can do Yard in the UK, get all the ESPN rights. But it's like, it's going to take Artur having no options. That's what it's going to take to get that fight. But it's
wait, Mr. PBC's giving me more of his money. Everybody stop. Give me your money. Baby boy ring IQ, scared like Eskimo pussy to bet. I mean, so far I'm coming up off of you, bro. I got a lot of your money. Send it in. Send it in.
Hey, look, first off, learn how to spell. Learn how to spell pussy. For God's sakes.
Imagine hating someone so much you gave them $12.
Bro, I love it. I love it. I love it. Yo, Canelo. Let's talk about Canelo. Let's talk about how much Mr. PBC want to suck Canelo's balls. I'm gonna add, let me go to Ivo. Ivo, which ball do you think Mr. PBC want to put in his mouth first? The right ball or the left ball?
Well, you see, you're a fool for thinking it's only one. He's a champ. He'll take both at once.
Oh! Strategy. Multitasking. Send that money in, Mr. PBC. Send it in, B. I know you got more money. Keep giving me that money, B. But back to the point. Yeah, I don't really know outside of... I envisioned that what he was going to try to do with Bivol that he didn't do at 68. I imagine that the fight was going to look like the Jacobs fight, where you coming forward, not necessarily in a high guard, but you slipping the jab and getting under the jab and countering to the body because he's taller. That's what I thought he was going to do. The shit he did was this bullshit.
Yeah. And I knew he would do that. I knew, but Julius, that's why I kept telling you, bro. I said, look at the Kovalev fight. You cannot fight Dimitri like that because you're going to get peppered.
He thought, bro. He thought.
Yeah, no, but that's what I was. I knew he would. I knew he would do that because he's so confident. He walked down Billy. I'm like, bro, you gonna come into this Bivol fight thinking he's Kovalev, Saunders, or Plant. You gonna get, and I knew that's what happened. Now I think Canelo could do a little bit better in the rematch in terms of, like you said, come forward, move his head a little more. But the thing is, with that, it's not gonna last long because, bro, with all that extra weight, he just can't fight like that no more.
That's the other thing. That's the other thing that kind of sours me to the rematch. Energy. That if you bring him down to 68, I don't really want to see it because it's not for the WBA title. But if you go up to 75, you don't really have at least based on what I saw, you don't have the cardio to be up there with that 175 and that whatever. Like, you don't have it. You're gonna get tired.
And then big ass fucking Benavidez is sitting over there 168 bullying all the little people.
What we know about Canelo, he's only ever had one rematch. And Canelo's the type of fighter that he needs the rematch to adjust and have a game plan. He doesn't do in-fight adjustments like a Crawford
it's like Paulie said,
or a Usyk. Canelo's the type that's go to have another camp, see what he did wrong, and then develop a different game plan. Like he's gonna have.
Let's not. Don't bring up Paulie because Paulie the same dude. Yo, I love it. Last week, Paulie had like a tirade about how nobody knows nothing about boxing. He the same one that said Devin Haney gonna lose.
Bruh.
Oh, shit.
Bruh.
Wow.
I love it, bro. Well, I love it.
But could I add the Eson's point where he was saying about like just how Canelo thought he could do the closing eyes shit, the guard. It's like that's what happens when you drink too much herbal tea. So,
yeah.
Really, you know.
No, that's that UK meat. That's that UK meat. He was feeling himself too
Yo,
much.
look, vegetarians, man. Look
White boy summer.
Remember he said that he got on some like vegan type
diet.
shit.
Yeah.
Don't do that shit, bro. You need them carnitas with that shit in it, bro.
To me, it's like, bro, no matter what you do, it ain't gonna change the fact Dimitri moves too well and he throws too many punches for you to keep up with. Like, regardless.
Let me read the super chat. Willie Lynch says boxer puncher pressure brawlers beats a pure boxer. Not all boxer punches. Not all. The pressure guys, it's the pressure guys that tend to beat them, though. It's the pressure guys. Like the fight that people think Floyd arguably lost with Castillo is because Castillo applied pressure. The fight that some people think arguably he lost with Maidana, it's because Maidana applied pressure. Pressure bust pipes. Pure boxers don't like it. What saved Floyd in a lot of fights, and this is why I always give him his flowers, he didn't start out a pure boxer. If he got to fight you off, he'll fight you off. He fought Cotto off. He had to fight him off. It was a hard fight, but he fought him off. So you got to get that man his flowers, B.
Also, one fight I love of his that kind of goes under the radar is the Marcus Corley fight. Oh, that was a fucking great fight.
Chop, yeah. Chop. IBF.
Let that fight.
Real shit, yo. I mean, look. Sometimes it's a motherfucker time to lose. If he could pull it off in a rematch, great. But it has to be at 175. I don't want it to be at 160.
It looks bad.
At 175.
The
whole reason
Mexicans are gonna talk shit.
The whole reason.
All them hated motherfuckers gonna talk so much shit. Why he not rematch him at 175? He has to drain him, make him weak to beat. Oh man, you already know.
But this a valid criticism, though.
No, it is. But to me, just fight him. If you are gonna fight him again, you gotta do it at 75, bro.
You gotta do it at 75, bro. It ain't if it's not at 75, it's not a get back.
There's no freaking reason to do it at 168. The whole reason he even fought that big ass Russian is to get that belt.
Exactly. So why bring him down? You know what I mean?
That's stupid. I mean, I understand pride, but that's retarded.
He knows it's a bad look. He won't do that. He'll fight him at 75. That's why we need him to lose to Golovkin so we don't get the rematch.
Nah, but he's not gonna lose, bro. Look, your man about to get folded up, bro.
That's the real reason I want him to win for real, because I really don't want.
Fuck that shit. Golovkin gotta fucking lose, bro, and it's that simple, bro.
Wait, Esau, you betting on Triple G, right?
Why wouldn't I? Look, you know the odds.
No, you really betting on Triple G?
I'm gonna bet money. Yeah, why wouldn't I?
Bro, you about to lose
he's
that.
Gonna be a wild underdog. Come on.
Bro, you about to lose that. You just giving the bookie money then. Putting his kids through college.
Hey, all right, we'll see. All right, we'll see. You were sure about Tanaka.
Just pray to the boxing guys.
You were sure about Tanaka, Ioka. You were sure about.
You wasn't sure about George.
I said he get robbery.
This is why I don't say nothing. Like, yeah, I was wrong about a few because you wasn't.
No, but I said get a robbery. That's it.
But you want to say that I made a bad pick because I picked the favorite, bro? You picked George, and he was the underdog, and he got underdogged with the jab.
I picked him because of the money.
And how'd that work out, bro?
I lost $30.
Go ahead, bro. Pick Golovkin.
I am.
Pick him, yo.
That could be good money. That could be good money.
Well, if you squeeze your eyes hard enough, you can clearly see Kambosos won that fight.
It's just deception. It's art of war.
It's the deception, bro.
By any means necessary.
Let me read the super chat. Floyd would have lost the Burton fight. Why did they stop that fight? We saw the heart of Mayweather that day. That was the fight I saw. Yeah. Floyd always had a dog in him. Like he was a finesse fighter, but he was a finesse fighter with a dog. He was always a finesse fider with a dog in him. You know what I mean?
It's a perfect mix, man.
Yeah, and it's rare that you get a fighter that can do both, which is why, look, y'all know I'm not big on Tyson Fury, but you got to give him props. That man has two base styles. He could pressure you, or he could box your fucking ears. Yeah, you got to give him a lot of guys. They cannot do that to find that happy medium that, okay, with you, I'm going to apply pressure. With you, I'm a box.
I think the last glimpse I saw of that was the Arturo Gatti fight.
Yeah. George says, will ESPN ever stop lying about what's going on in boxing? I know they won't. I'm posing a question. Haney is the first 4-belt undisputed, not the third. Oh, I see what you mean, bro.
Oh yeah, that
I see what you
little
mean.
shit they put up that listed Teofimo
Because of the Lopez shit. But look, it's still people out there whose names I will not mention. They don't want to accept it. Like, bro, he was never undisputed, bro. Like, you got to let the shit go.
I
He
know
was
you're
not
talking
fucking
about.
undisputed, bro.
I know you're talking about.
No, you don't. I didn't say shit, bro.
I don't. I don't.
I'm not in that shit.
I don't.
I don't want to be in that shit. I am
Julius?
not in that shit.
Have you really?
You know, I'm not in that shit, and I don't want to be in that shit.
Julius,
I'm on my shit. Go ahead, Leo.
Have you already talked about how Bob Arum is a genius?
Explain.
Because, okay, you gonna force this mandatory position against Lomachenko? Okay, Devin, take this fake ass belt by email, but you wanna be the real champion? You have to came to Top Rank.
I mean,
And
look.
now,
I was talking with War Week Radio, right, on Twitter, and we had like a little discussion about this. That look, you know, you got to pay to play. You have to, because he was making an assertion that Devin Haney's belts aren't a bargaining chip, that they have no bearing. And I'm like, bro, as long as Vasyl Lomachenko wants those belts, Devin has a bag. Period. Those belts are what Loma's after. Loma's promoted by Top Rank. You want to do that fight, you got to pay to play. And I wouldn't be surprised if Devin ends up getting more money than Loma. Wouldn't be surprised. You're the challenger. I got all the belts. What do you think?
No, he's get more money. No, Loma will make the concessions, definitely. There's no doubt in my mind.
Exactly.
Yeah,
like, look, he already made concessions for George.
Yeah, he'll take a 1.5.
Loma don't care about Loma don't care about money. He don't care about money.
He got a fucking hotel over there somewhere. Lomas. They throw orgy parties in that shit.
Come on, man.
They do, bro.
Are you serious? Yeah, you such a you. See, for a second I had to ask you, are you serious? Come on.
No, you know what I mean? But yeah, yo, like I want to see that fight just because let me say this. Let me appreciate Devin. No, I'm not big on pure boxers, and I really never was outside of Floyd. But I thank him for ending the franchise fiasco. I'm very happy about that because now it's over, bro. There is one champion at 135. His name is Devin Haney.
Sucks, man. They should have never came up with that.
We should have never came up with that shit. But guess what? We don't got to worry about it no more because it's one champion at 135. That's 1, 2. Depending on what happens, we get to see another narrative put the rest. If he fights Loma, that puts that whole conversation to bed.
Absolutely.
Hey, Bot's back.
Oh, shit. I don't want to get naked.
By the way, Jules, could you blow up my photo? That's who the champion is. Let's recognize him right quick.
Let me see.
There we go.
Yeah, yo. All right, that's the motherfucking champ, yo.
Haney,
that's
boy.
the motherfucking champ.
Listen,
and all these people, I got a tirade. All these people that was giving this kid a hard time, I know what your problem with him is. I just like exposing that shit. I know what your problem wasn't none of that shit that y'all saying. I know what your problem with him is. That's why I like exposing that shit. You just don't be realizing I'm exposing the shit by pointing out how you be wrong about shit. I know what the fuck you really are. You know what I mean? If you can't give this kid I bet y'all want to give him his props now, right? So y'all can hide that shit. Because if motherfuckers knew what you were really doing, they wouldn't listen. There was never any reason to give this kid a hard time. There wasn't. I don't think he would have beat Loma at all. If he would have got the fight, I think he would have got played with. But that doesn't change the fact that when Gervonta Davis was running from danger, this kid was running towards it. And Tom proved me right. Tom proved me right. He wasn't bullshitting. He went to Australia where Teofimo didn't want to go.
Yeah, he did what the other guys won't do.
What Ryan didn't want to do, what Tank didn't want to do, none of them.
So if you got a problem, if I see that you still got like a I know what you are, you know what I mean? I'm gonna expose it. You just not gonna realize I'm doing this shit. You know why? Because I'm a fucking Capricorn. That's what the fuck we do.
Tell him. Like, Jules, just right quick, if I could just give my take on the whole criticism of Devin Haney and stuff like that. See, the problem is, like, the way I see it is like they just want him to be something that he's not. Because I was also I was talking to somebody on Twitter about it too, and he's like saying, "Oh, Haney should have engaged. He's not my cup of tea." I'm like, my guy, that's not what he is. He's a pure boxer. Yeah. He's a boxer. That's what he's gonna do. And like, it doesn't bother me as much because I'm a hardcore fan enough to like appreciate the sweet science of all styles. You know what I mean? And like I know what I'm getting with Devin. It's like you said, it's going to take somebody with a certain style, i.e., a pressure fighter, to really get him out of his comfort zone and to really see what he's made of. That's what's going to take.
It's gonna be Loma, bro.
And the other thing is, I'm also going to say this, right? I'm also going to say this. When you're talking about exposing these people for what they really are, right? Don't you see they're blaming Devin for George's shortcomings? George could not pressure Devin. That's Devin's fault.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, I mean, what about the other guy?
Fault.
I mean, like George himself said,
it's not Devin's job to stick his face out there. Hit me! It's a boxing match, ain't it? You expect him to just stand there? No. It's George's job. That's why, look, right? I blame Dorigo and Casemiro for the shit show. Not just Rigo. Like, yeah, Rigo, you don't want to fight. And Casemiro, you just ain't shit. You're not shit, bro. All right? This man is fucking old. Hit him. Catch him and hit him. You both ain't shit. You both deserve a loss. All right?
Yeah. It was like what's funny is like one thing about Dev, like one thing I can name that he's not doing, he's not losing.
He's not losing.
He's winning on points. Clear all UDs. No split decisions, no majority decisions, nothing. All UDs and all his points wins.
Dominant. Now let me read the super chat. Lucy Fire Dodd says, mixing resume and skills, who is greatest, Floyd or Robinson?
Robinson, no question.
I mean, I want to say Robinson, right? But it's just that because they're different eras, the accolades are different. There were not as many belts to win in Robinson's era, but that doesn't really count against Floyd because, well, Floyd's not from Robinson's era. Did Floyd, in his era, accomplish the most in his era, the 3 and 4 belt era? Yeah, in his era. Do I think he would have beat Robinson?
No.
Not all that.
Can Floyd
Robinson was a middleweight, man. He was a middleweight.
He's too big, man.
I mean, Robinson fought.
Listen. Welterweights were big back then. They were big. Yeah. They were big. 5'10", 5'11". Tommy Hearns was fucking what? 6'1", 6'2".
Yeah.
They were big back then, bro.
Robinson also was in a tougher
and they were young. They were young.
And the other thing is, don't bring up Chico. Chico ain't Tommy Hearns. Like he fought a 12 foot. Listen, bro, I'm just telling you, it was different. All right, that's all I'm saying. It was different.
And Julius, the thing is that these guys were that big, and they were younger than Floyd was when he was at welterweight.
And you're not gonna keep them. And you're not gonna keep them off with the occasional stab to the body or the pot shot.
No, bro.
You're not gonna keep them off.
No,
not.
Bro.
If you look at them Leonard fights, bro. You're not keeping him out, bro.
He loves them uppercuts down low.
All right, bro. You're not keeping him out. Like you're not. 1, he's longer than Floyd. 2, he's longer and fast. He doesn't have to be faster than Floyd. He's fast and he's long. You know what I mean? No homo. But pause for depending on your state. Pause. But I'm just saying, like, let Floyd be great for his era. You know what I mean? I don't compare them. Honestly, I don't even think of them in the same.
It's not fair. To me, it's not fair.
That conversation is stupid. But imagine someone like Harry Greb in this era with modern technology, with modern equipment, and with modern training. People will be running away from him.
Yes, I've made that argument that the guys physically, when you think about Harry Greb, Henry Armstrong, Jack Dempsey, even Rocky Marciano, training modern because they were already, and I believe this, and I don't care who it offends, the old fighters like George, like Ali, like just the guys back, they were tougher physically. They were better physical specimens. They were. That's how they were able to fight for 15 rounds. These guys, after 6.
Bro, technology got better. Listen, here's the thing. Technology got better, but the people got weaker.
Yeah.
Yes.
These dudes today would run away from Harry Greb like he was a live grenade.
You could say technique, medicine, but you're not going to tell me, like, look at Canelo, and then look at someone like Marvin Hagler. Compare the physical. Like, come on.
Why you had to bring? But you already making Canelo great because you had to bring up Harvin Magler, bro.
Harvin Magler.
You had to bring up Harvin Magler. My man was second mío outside Haney painting his nails. I just don't see anything wrong with the kid. Eso es lo que es. Mira, esa gente. I'm gonna say it in Spanish. Esa gente, aunque ese muchacho es aburrido, ¿verdad? Es la verdad, pero esa gente son racistas. Ese muchacho no hizo nada. Él no hizo nada a nadie. Él quería la pelea con Lomachenko. ¿Cuál es el problema? Y en vez de decir, mira, por lo menos él quería la pelea, no, y email, él un email. Ya yo sé lo que tú vas a decir, tú estás diciendo esa vaina, porque eso no es culpa de ese muchacho. That was not his fucking decision. Why was he being blamed? Wasn't his decision.
¿Y tú sabes dónde se consiguió ese título de French Fry, Lomachenko? Por email.
Y eso es lo que no le gusta. Que look, I've always maintained, because I know what it was about, and it's a lot of stupid fucking people in the world. It was never about Devin and Loma. It was about Bob and Eddie. That's what it was always about. But Eddie wants to bring Loma to the zone, and Bob don't want to let him. So he did what he had to do to make sure that's not an eventuality and it doesn't happen. That's what it was really about.
He should have just waited, though. He should have just waited.
Yeah.
Bob took away Devin from Eddie to make that fight. Or potentially make that fight.
Bob is a slick bastard.
Look, and the main thing is this. The main thing is this. They only have the conversation in the context to try to say that Vasyl Lomachenko is afraid of a guy who couldn't put away Linares, who couldn't put away Gamboa. You sound stupid. You know, like you sound stupid. If
Lomachenko is literally crawling underneath Russian tanks to put C4 on them. Come on, man.
And that's why I try not to have that argument anymore, because I'm like, bro, I like Devin. I've been supporting Devin, but I'm just telling you, if they would have fought in 2019, yeah, Devin would have got knocked out.
Bro, early too.
He lost, man.
He lost.
Now he has a much better chance, but I still think he loses bad now. But back then, it was not even, bro. It would have been one like, and I'm not trying to be that dude that this and that, but I'm like, look, I'm looking at Devin. He is a fundamentally sound boxer, but I'm gonna be real with you. His boxing ain't better than Shakur's. It's not.
Nope.
It's not.
Like, even though that's a very
important. Wait. If you don't know what to look for, do not fucking bother me. If you don't know what to look for, if you don't know what I mean, if you don't see it, don't come to me with your fucking finger. No. You don't know what to look for, so you should.
Yeah, just looking at that fight, it's gonna be this decade's Zab versus Floyd.
Hard to compare pre-ped fighters to postmodern fighters. Bro, we've been on peds out here. All of us. Haney es un muchacho sano. Yo nada más lo que estoy diciendo, no me gusta el abuso de ese muchacho. Eso es lo que no me gusta. Ese muchacho un carajito. Él no está en la calle, no está vendiendo droga. He want to fuck broads and make money. I'm proud of him, yo. Do the shit. All right, he went to fucking Australia. He went to fucking Australia, and he did the fucking shit. And if you like, when I see his dad at the airport, I ain't bullshitting. My eyes welled up. We gotta win, bro.
That was like some shit from the movie, man.
That's a story, bro. No, for real. I'm Devin made me a much bigger fan because I've been critical of him, but I never was with the email shit. I was critical for him of other reasons, like, his durability, things like that. But besides that, I always thought he was a good boxer.
Look, there's evaluating him as a fighter, and then there's evaluating his character. Yeah, and Devin has never shown, he's never shown a lack of character. When he said he wanted, no. When he did what he had to do as far as what you expect. You want Lomachenko, become his mandatory. He did that. Why would I criticize him for that? Oh, and there was still people when he doesn't. Yeah, bro, I know what your real problem is. I just don't know why you dressing it up. Because you don't fool me. I know what your real problem is.
Yeah. Out of here. He made me a fan of his definitely much more after this move. For real. I'm happy for the kid.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm not gonna tell you that. I'm not gonna tell you I like watching him more than a pressure fighter. I'm not gonna lie. Like, no, he's not the most entertaining fighter.
But you can appreciate what he brings to the table, at least.
But give that man his. It don't take nothing. Look, I'm gonna let y'all in on another universal secret. The truth makes you stronger. So stop fucking lying and just give him his flowers.
It'll set you free.
Did you see the fucking purses for this fight, man? There's no way this rematch happens.
Listen,
bro.
Let me tell you one.
Devin's gonna get like 1.5 for the next rematch.
I'll tell you one motherfucking thing. That motherfucking shit.
Oh God, yeah, yep.
They're not gonna want, bro. That fight was.
I'm gonna ask you a motherfucking question. You think Gervonta Davis got 10 M's for Rolly?
No.
Nope.
No, I don't. The numbers don't tell that story.
You got some M&Ms.
The numbers don't. I mean, they don't tell that story. They for real, they don't, fam. Remember, 30 to 40% goes to the cable and satellite company. 30 and 40% of whatever came in, right?
Man, by the
then
time
you got to pay the other people.
By the time it was over with, he got $2 in a pack of Now Laters.
Understand? All right, motherfuckers? And that was for a legacy fight, because I have maintained that the legacy fights is the ones that get you paid. Now let's talk about some legacies. Michaela Mayer is mad that the homie Alicia Baumgartner is getting all this motherfucking money. Because word around the campfire. Wait.
What's she mad about?
Listen, this is why she mad. Word around the campfire is that Alicia getting more bread than Michaela.
Wait, okay.
Wait, what?
Wait. Can you give us a little more or no?
Listen, Eddie knows the number. Eddie did an interview, and based on the number that he saw, he said, I think Alicia is getting more than Michaela.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Now, wait. And when you think about it, well, you want Alicia to go from Matchroom in the Zone over the Top Rank.
You gotta be paying her.
You have to pay to play. You gotta pay to play, yo.
What was Mayer's last purse?
Do you think that Alicia's gonna KO her?
What, $100,000?
No, it was. I believe I saw the number that's out there, and it's either 3 or close to 3. It's either 3 or close to 300.
What's Alicia getting?
I'm gonna ask her.
Please.
I'm legit gonna ask her. I ain't even gonna put it out there, but I'm gonna ask. Like, yo,
you can tell us after hours.
You could.
Nah, I ain't gonna say shit.
Like, we ain't gonna say nothing.
All right, now you never. You know what? Julius is not gonna say nothing to us. That he's ready.
I'm not gonna say nothing.
He's a man of his word.
What I am gonna say is, I'm just saying, if you're Top Rank and you know that you can't really get your fighter because Michaela's their fighter, you know that you don't really have a lot of options for your fighter, but one, right? You have to pay to play because the fighter you want to put her in there with is on a different platform with a different promoter. So that Alicia could be getting more money than Michaela, that's not far-fetched. That's possible. Like, yeah, yo, you might
have to have her cross the street. You have to.
Yeah, like shit. Like the fuck.
You can't pay her less than what she gets on her own promotional. And Alicia is going there with all the fucking funny scorecards. But hey,
basically,
any updates on where and when? Where and when
she's gonna KO her?
I think she can, but she has to be ready because Michaela's versatile.
Michaela got jokes though, thinking she's gonna stop Alicia though. That's funny.
Yeah, she's
look. This is the main thing. If you look at the fight, like one, I'm biased as shit, and I'm not gonna apologize for that. I am 100% on board with Team Baumgartner, right?
So am I.
But just if you evaluate Michaela as a fighter, she's a very good fucking fighter, even if she's not a big puncher. She could bang on the inside, box on the outside. She is athletic. She don't hit that hard, but she has speed, and she's not fragile. We found that out in the Hamadouche fight. That she's not fragile, and if you get inside on her, she's okay. She could deal. She could hang. So it's an uphill battle. She has to stop her.
To me, this is
one
going to
thing I
sound
want to
like
say to the panel: you guys are forgetting one thing, man. She's got to think that way, even if she can't.
That's true too.
Yeah.
That's true too. I'll say this. You know what else? You know what's disturbing, country? I've watched Michaela Mayer since she went pro. I've seen all of her fights. I've never seen her hurt. I never even seen her buzzed.
Right.
So you don't think Alicia can hurt her?
I do, but I believe you got to land on her consistently to break her because she's not going to break easy. What I'm getting at is she's not. If she's going to break, it's not going to be easy. It's not.
Jules, let me ask you this: who do you think hits harder, Alicia or Iva?
Alicia, because
Yep. Oh, okay.
But it's different. It's different power. Alicia hits hard because she hits hard. Maiva hits hard because she breaks you down to where it starts being hard. At first, it's on punches, but after 3-4 rounds of her doing that shit to you, it's gonna feel like bricks. It's gonna feel like bricks.
Yeah. I think Alicia needs to up her volume for this fight as much as she can. Just like you don't even gotta load up on every shot, but just be active and then body work, heavy investment.
Jab to the body, the mid-section.
load up on certain shots in between. Hit her with some B and C shots and throw some A level shits in between because you're gonna need to hit her with multiple punches.
I mean, I hope that she's not looking for a single shot to do it because I feel like that's
you
the
need to tell
drawback.
her. You need to be the anchor from this conversation to her at all times.
Bro,
You better tell her.
Listen, I have had this conversation and I have said all this that like I don't because it's like Michaela's saying in the open that she's going for a knockout. Does that not seem like you believe she's going for the knockout?
I believe she will. I believe that she will try it, but I think when if she gets hit with something, she'll go right to boxing. But I think she'll come in with the mindset that because Mayer is stubborn and egotistical. You can tell the kind of cat she is.
She's a Leo, bro. She's a Leo. Like
yeah,
I already know.
Bro, my two sisters are both Leos and my mother.
One of my sisters is a Leo.
Bro, I got 3 of them, all Leos.
I'll pray for you, bro. I'll pray for you.
You know the tough times. No,
yes.
But for real, Mayer, I mean, listen, I think she might just be talking shit, but I think she's going to go in there and slug with Alicia. Listen, Alicia's going to have the chance early, but I think she needs to, I mean, if it shows itself, go for it, but she should really look into start setting up shots for the later rounds.
She need to watch them Mike Tyson videos. If Michaela want to bang on the inside, the combination she needs is the hook to the body and the uppercut. She's tall. That shit. She's because she's tall. Because she's tall. Yep. She leans over her lead foot. If when she's in the pocket, she'll lean over her lead foot. That's the one you gotta hit her with. The hook to the body and the uppercut right to the motherfucking sweet spot. That'll show her.
Listen, she needs to look at some Terrence Crawford films. Don't throw a single fucking uppercut on the inside the whole fight until later on in the fight.
Oh, wait a minute. Motherfucking JD is saying she a cancer. That Michaela is a cancer.
That's worse.
I mean, Leos are fucking annoying, man. That's all. Fucking annoying, man. You know what Leos are? Leos are Capricorns. They're like Capricorns, but in a bad way. Like, man, just fucking go somewhere, bro.
The problem with Leos is they want to be the center of attention all the time.
Yes. You took the words out of my mouth, bro. Because that's how they are. And it's like, I get it. Some people are introverts. Some people are extroverts. I am a behind the scenes guy. I'd rather be behind the camera than in front of it. That's where I'm comfortable, orchestrating the shit, pulling the strings. I don't actually want to be in front of the joint. But like, you know, my sister's a Leo. She's literally an actor. So it's like, I dig it. Y'all like to shine. You know, it is what it is. Ain't nothing wrong with that neither. It's just irritating.
Yeah, to each their own. I'm with you, Julius. I'm more of a under the radar kind of guy. I always have been. Like I want to move the bricks, but I'm always to myself. You know what I mean?
I want to move the bricks peacefully, bro. I don't want all the. I'm not a rock and roller. In other words, like I don't.
That's my job. I got the perfect job. I'm behind the scenes. I'm away from everybody.
Yeah. You know? Damn, man. I'll really be. Alicia better win this fight, man. I really want her to win.
Bro, I'm gonna imbue Alicia with the Capricornian powers.
Anything on the date?
Anything on the date, bro?
August, October.
Oh,
I think October.
I believe it's either late August or early September.
I want it to be a good fight.
Right around the corner.
Yo, where are they gonna? I hope they put it in New York, bro. If they put it in New York, I'll go.
Bro, I don't really want Top Rank because Top Rank if they do this shit at the hangar in Costa Mesa, I'm like, yo, bro, come on now. Y'all should have let Matchroom do the fight, man. If y'all just do this shit at any old shit, like B.
Yo, they need to have some UK judges or something.
Look, we got July. We in June, and June just started. We got June, July, and August for you to sit them down and do that gloves are off, do that face off.
Oh,
I need that.
Oh, that really sells the fight.
I need that. Because
Matchroom promotion is way better.
Listen, Maya talk. I want to see if she gonna keep that same energy when Alicia is in the room. Is you gonna talk as much with Alicia in the room in front of you as you do on Twitter? Because she talks some fly shit on Twitter.
She be posting some random memes about her talking shit. Like, look at you. All you done in your career is this. I'm like, damn, bro. You talking crazy over the internet.
Crazy, yo. Like, you really wild. She gonna gather all the powers of Detroit and all the powers of Ohio, from all the blades of grass to all the shit, yo. And she gonna hit her one time. All the hair. Michaela May gonna look like Krillin by the end of that fight.
Ew. So you think late stoppage for Alicia?
I feel if it's gonna happen, it'll happen quick.
Really?
That's how I feel with it. That's I did the Doctor Strange thing. Where I put the gemstone right here. Time stone, and I time stamped it, and I seen.
You said I time stamped it.
Time stamped it. What the fuck? And I started having a seizure like Junior 5 after the Lucas Brown fight.
Like a fish out of water, flopping on the ground.
Flopping on the ground, bro.
Can I say this about
what I saw is that it happens quick. It happens fast. That the power that you're dealing with is set up so well that when it hits you, it take all of it out of you.
So Julius,
because Alicia has perfectly placed shots.
But what you got to realize is different realities. It's another reality where Michaela Mayer fights Keith Thurman and becomes WBA welterweight champion.
Yeah, she beats Keith. That's who you're beating Keith. Easily outpoints him.
It's different realities, bro. It's just different realities. It's Tobey Maguire. It's Tom Holland, and what's the other guy's name?
Andrew Garfield.
Garfield the cat.
This guy. Nah, I hope Alicia jumps on her and just gets her out of there. That would be great. I hope Mayer tries to fight her like it wouldn't surprise me try to fight her like Hamadouche. That wouldn't surprise me.
Try that.
Well, the secret weapon that Michaela has, for what it's worth, for just for what it's worth.
What are her advantages? Give it to us.
She has Coach Al Mitchell.
Yeah.
Do you think Michaela can actually beat her?
On points only. Only on points.
If Alicia's gonna
only. This is how Michaela can beat her. Only on points, and if Alicia makes the mistake of being economic, you have to fight her off. You can't it can't be a single shot or just 2 shots at a time. All right, you got power, use it. And
she's gonna fight the same way she did against Hamadouche, man. Look, she's talking about knocking her out. She can't knock the skin off a fucking bowl of custard.
Listen. If Mayer tries to force the pace, that's gonna help Alicia only. It's gonna only help her. So it's actually a good idea if she tries that. But at the same time, I think Alicia would be. I hope she's not trying to go in there and look for single shots, man. That would be terrible.
That's the other scenario that don't look for singles. If she's close enough that you can get off 3 or 4 punches at a time, do it. I guarantee she ain't gonna want to bang after that. I guarantee.
What I want to know is, can she move with Michaela? Can she really match her foot movement and really cut the ring off on her?
I don't think Alicia is gonna be the one stalking her. I see Alicia boxing.
You're just looking for that looking for that one shot.
It really does play into Alicia's hands if Mayer comes forward. Really, it really does. So for Alicia, she should invite that.
Bro, I'm fucking nervous as shit, bro. I feel like somebody father or some shit. Like I'm so fucking nervous, bro.
But I'm just curious, when's the next time? When's the last time Michaela knocked anybody out?
Years.
Oh God.
Years. That's why I said she's not knocking Alicia out, bro.
Nah. She couldn't stop. Nah, man. Nah.
If you, in other words, if you really went in there looking for a knockout, right? We all know what that entails. You have to commit to the shots. You have to sit on your punches. You have to take chances. If you take that chance with Alicia, she will knock you out.
Yes, she will.
The way she set up Terry, right? Terry touched her to the body. Watch it back. Terry touched her to the body with a jab. It didn't do nothing to her. The next time she touched her with that jab, pop, it's a wrap.
Terry rushed in, got caught.
If you commit to your punches and you sit on them and she catch you, you're gonna get all of it. The whole Ohio.
As soon as Mayer's left shoulder twitches, Alicia used to throw a right hand over.
Real shit. I want Alicia to hit her so hard in the body that a little bit of doodle fall out.
No, wait, Jules.
Damn, Jules.
Wait, Jules. Like you know what? I want Michaela to rap. Remember how Caroline remember how Caroline Dubois?
A little one, country, just like a little pebble, like
just a nugget.
Y'all remember how Caroline Bivol knocked out that chick to the body? Like,
could you imagine if she just mung right in the shit and then what's that? Tim Bradley, what's that? Mark Kriegel, what's that?
It's a nugget.
She just decked the shit out of her, literally.
She just dropped the nugget.
Real shit, but I do feel that the body's the ticket because I honest to God, my gut tells me that she's been struggling to make 130. Michaela's very big for 130. She's huge. She's huge for 130. And I feel she's weak to the body. Most people don't go there because they can't get there. You need to have the foot speed and the hand speed and the length and the speed to touch her there. And I feel like, yeah, if you touch her there, she'll start to fall apart. She's not used to getting hit there. When Maiva fought her, the mistake Maiva made is, you're close enough to go to the body, but you just throwing at her head. And it's not doing nothing. Like, she's cool. She cool with them punches. You didn't go to the body enough. Maybe if you would have went to the body, that would have slowed her down. Now, Maiva's power is accumulative. Alicia's power is explosive. That if she'll catch you with some shit, and it's different type of power, but she got to put them together with this girl. You got to put shots together, put combinations together, because if she does plan on pressuring you, it's so that she could back you off and make you look crazy in the fight. You hold your ground. You got to hold your ground. Step around her. Turn her. What you got to do. It's going to be a good fight, man.
Punch her in the dick.
Oh.
I couldn't resist, man. I'm sorry.
Yo, motherfuckers ain't shit. Ain't shit. Yo, man, it's gonna be a good fight. Well, gentlemen, it's been a very good live. I'm gonna go to sleep, Mr. PBC. I hope you come back and give me more of your money. Give me more of your money. Canelo, 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 Canelo.
Peace, gentlemen.
You worked hard for that money.
Nos vemos.
For the money, for the money.
Good night.